Hi, my name is Kristin and this is Kristin Kraves Books, and I'm here with my November TBR. So I already posted my nonfiction November TBR, but I thought I would do a separate video because I am participating in a fiction readathon in November, and I tried to keep this as simple as possible because I really do want to make progress in nonfiction since I've been slacking on that this year. But I knew if I didn't do this, I would get FOMO. So this is the Once Upon a Readathon that is created by Hannah Blackwell. The graphics that she made, the story she came up with, everything, she put so much work into this. I know this was months in the making, and I think there are 16 hosts. Some of them are friends, and I follow all of the hosts, so I just knew that I wanted to participate. The Discord's really fun, so I will leave the announcement video down below, the Discord, all the links that you need to participate in this. And the whole point is, Hannah wrote the story, and it's really cool. And you're following a quest. There are different steps that you have to do, and you do have to do the steps in order. And each step has different prompts. There are 3 prompts and then like a bonus hard mode. So with each step you can get 350 points for your team. And by the way, I chose Team Witches, which of course, because I am having like a witchy moment right now. I've read so many witchy books in the past month. I did a witchy recommendation video. It just made sense to choose that team. But as you make your way through the steps, you collect points for your team. So you can get 350 points. But you only have to do one of them, and you can pick one book, and one book can fit for all the prompts within a certain step. And this will be interesting for me because I am such a mood reader, and I've never created a TBR where I was told you have to read these books in this particular order. Never. So that'll be interesting to see if that's something I can do, because you have to complete the steps in the correct order. So we'll see how that goes for me. But the first prompt is to research the history of the apple tree. And then there are 3 prompts and hard mode bonus points in there. So the first prompt within that step is a book featuring royalty. And this is the book I chose for this one. I'm only getting 100 points for this step because I'm sure I could have found something else. But this book has been calling to me since I added it to my shelves. And this is Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Weber. This is the gorgeous Fairy Loot paperback edition. This was one of their items a few months ago, and I just think this is stunning. And this is like your classic traditional royalty YA, and I haven't read anything like that in ages. YA fantasy, just not too serious, kind of fun. One crown, 2 sisters fighting for who gets to be on the throne. And I know a lot of people in November and December, they kind of amp up their reading to like meet their goals and everything, but I get burnt out at the end of the year. That just always is the case for me. So I think something lighter and more fun like this will work for me. And yeah, it's a little bit longer, but I think I can get through it quickly. And I downloaded the audiobook from Scribd because I think I have to immersion read this one, because something about these UK paperbacks, can you hear that? The spine like cracking, that just creeps me out. Gives me the chills, makes me think I'm gonna break this beautiful book, so I have to read them like this. But I will immersion read it as best that I can. Just don't want to ruin this beautiful copy. It's just so stiff. No floppiness to this at all. But yeah, it says 2 sisters, 1 crown. Princess Ro Valhart is heir to the throne of Vienna. Trained from birth to fear the witches that killed her parents, she will do anything to defend her kingdom. Stolen from the palace at birth, Ren Greenrock is the secret sister no one knows about. She plots to usurp the princess in order to protect the witches of Ortha who raised her. In the battle for the crown of Vienna, where will your allegiances lie? And I know there's another book coming out. So yes, that's my first one. And then the other prompts for that step that you could have chosen are retelling, so like a fairy tale or a myth, and I don't think that one works for that. Or if the title includes once, upon, at, or time, and then the hard mode is if it contains 2 or more of those words. So probably could have found a perfect book for that. I just really wanted to read Twin Crowns, to be honest with you. And then the next step is to find a map to the apple tree. And I think I hit all of these. So one book is gonna hit all of these prompts. And the prompts are a book with a map, a book that you recently acquired, a book with red, orange, yellow, or brown on the cover, and then the hard mode is 2 or more of those colors on the covers. I was holding the book upside down, but this is the map. It's so beautiful, and to be honest, I want to get through a few of my Fairy Loot books, so that's why I chose this one. I've heard some mixed things, but again, it's like a YA fantasy. I think I can get through pretty quickly. This edition is stunning, and honestly, that map is what sold me on this one, and then it was just too perfect for all the prompts. So it has the map. What was the other ones in here? How quickly I forget. It has the map, I recently acquired this from Fairy Loot, and then, is this a stretch? No, I think this is true. It's got the orange colors and the yellow and everything, so I think that counts. I will get 350 points for that one book. And this is Violet is a prophet and a liar, influencing the royal court with her cleverly phrased and not always true divinations. Honesty is for suckers. Like the oh-so-not charming Prince Cyrus, who plans to strip Violet of her official role once he's crowned at the end of the summer, unless Violet does something about it. So, sounds like it could be fun. This next one is probably the one that I was most excited about, and I'm so happy I could make it work in this TBR. And the step here is Gather Companions. So again, I think I'm going to get 300 points for this. It's not a debut author, sadly. But the prompts for this are a book with a romance, a book featuring family, a new to you author, and then the hard mode is if it's also a debut author. So this is not a debut author, but it fits all the other prompts. Again, holding this upside down. This is Mistakes Were Made by Meryl Wisner, and this was sent to me by St. Martin's Press, and I screamed. I was so excited when this showed up on my doorstep. This is Sapphic Age Gap, best friend's mother story. So that's where the family comes in. She is dating her best friend's mom, and obviously it's a romance. I've heard it's pretty steamy. And I've never read anything by Meryl Wisner before, but I know she has, I can picture the cover. I know she has a book that was pretty popular when it came out, but I'm just so excited that I was able to fit this onto my TBR. It is perfect, 300 points. The next up is Quest for the Apple Tree, and that is a book with magic, a book with a historical setting, a book over 300 pages, and then the hard mode is if it's over 450 pages, and I got the perfect book. It is gonna get me 350 points, and it's one that I've put on many a TBR since I read the first book. And this is The Hidden Palace by Helene Wecker. My buddy read The Golem and the Jinny with Kristin from Kristin's Fully Booked earlier this year, fell in love with it. I've put this on many TBRs since. And of course I haven't read it, but it was like, it was waiting for the perfect time. This is a historical setting. It was set, the first one was set in the late 1800s. So this one is set at the beginning of World War I. So a few years after the end of the first book. And it's definitely got more magical realism in it because the Golem and the Jinny, they're like magical creatures. And they're just so well done, that way the whole thing is done. Definitely over 300 pages, definitely over 400 pages or 450 pages. It is 469 pages, so this is the perfect choice. Okay, and the last one, and again I found the perfect book. It just really worked out for this, and this is Climb the Apple Tree, the last and final step. And this is a book featuring a conflict, a poll pick. So no, I just lied. This is not 350 points. If I get through all of these and have time at the end of the month, I will probably put a poll in my community tab or on Instagram for a final book. So look out for that, we will see. So this will give me 250 points. And then the next prompt is a book featuring an unlikable or morally gray character. And then the hard mode is the main character is a villain. Thanks to Sarah from Brighton Bookish for always hyping this book up, because I found this for $5 and I grabbed it, and it is a perfect choice for this. I know that this is about a conflict. Our main character is a villain. This is her villain origin story. It couldn't be more perfect for this. So this follows, what is the main character's name in here? Anna, and she like works for the criminals in her town. She's like an administrator or something, and she gets caught up in a situation where she's almost killed by a superhero, and she's seeking out her revenge. She is not the only one to have been harmed by superheroes, and she's resentful, and this is how she becomes a villain. That is the basic story. That is what I know about this one, but I just have a really good feeling. I think Sarah and I's reading taste often align, and this just couldn't be more perfect. And I just bought this last book I bought, so it'd be nice to get to it really quickly. So those are the books. Those are the books on my Once Upon a Readathon TBR, plus all the ones that I have on my non-fiction TBR, plus the holiday romances I know I'm gonna want to read. Oh, and our book checkout book club November pick. We just announced it, and I meant to say this at the beginning of this video, but of course I forgot. But the book we will be reading is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. And it was interesting the reactions we got when we announced that. Very mixed opinions on that book. I still have high hopes for it because I read my first Rebecca Roanhorse a couple months ago. It's her November release, Tread of Angels, and I loved it, so I'm still hopeful that I will love Black Sun. But either way, I think our chat is going to be interesting. We are having a live discussion on December 11th at, I think it's 3 p.m., 2 p.m. Eastern. I will leave that all linked down below. And yeah, I learned from last time that I shouldn't read our book club picks so early when our live discussion is in the next month. So I'll probably wait until December to read that, but yes, that's also on my November TBR and my early December TBR. So that's the long and short of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you are participating in the readathon and what team you chose. And if you post a TBR, send me the link. I'd love to watch. And thanks for your support. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.